Performance. One of the most fascinating aspects of beets that excites me as a family doctor is their exceptionally high content of natural dietary nitrates, compounds that our bodies cleverly transform into something truly remarkable. Nitric oxide. Imagine this a simple root vegetable, often overlooked in the produce aisle, holds the key to one of the body's most potent natural vasodilators. Nitric oxide is like a master regulator in our vascular system. Performance signals blood vessels to relax and widen, promoting smoother, more efficient blood flow to every vital organ, including the heart and brain. This isn't just theory, performance. It's a well-established physiological pathway supported by decades of research. Here's a hook to grab your attention. Performance. Did you know that just one serving of beetroot juice can provide more dietary nitrates than many other vegetables combined, leading to measurable increases in circulating nitric oxide levels within hours? Performance. Studies have shown that beets contain up to 11 grams of nitrates per liter in concentrated juice form, far surpassing common sources like spinach or lettuce. Once ingested, these nitrates are absorbed in the gut, concentrated in the saliva, and reduced by oral bacteria into nitrite. From there, nitrite converts to nitric oxide, especially under low oxygen conditions in tissues. Performance, a backup system that's particularly helpful as we age and our natural nitric oxide production declines. This process has profound implications for cardiovascular health. Nitric oxide acts directly on the endothelium. Performance, the delicate inner lining of our blood vessels, enhancing its function and flexibility. Performance, systematic reviews and meta-analyses of randomized trials confirm that regular intake of nitrate-rich beets improves endothelial-dependent vasodilation, reduces arterial stiffness, and supports better overall circulation. For instance, research has demonstrated that this pathway can lower systolic blood pressure by several millimeters of mercury, a change comparable to some lifestyle interventions or even medications, performance, yet achieved naturally without side effects. But the benefits extend beyond the heart. Another compelling hook, emerging evidence suggests that the nitric oxide boost from beets enhances cerebral perfusion, performance, the delivery of oxygenated blood to the brain. In older adults, where blood flow to certain brain regions naturally diminishes, studies using advanced imaging like MRI have revealed increased perfusion in critical areas. Performance, such as the frontal lobes responsible for executive function, memory, and decision-making. This could mean sharper cognition and potentially a buffer against age-related decline. Performance, all from incorporating this vibrant vegetable into your diet. What makes this even more engaging is how accessible and safe it is. Unlike synthetic supplements, performance, beets deliver nitrates alongside a symphony of supportive nutrients. Antioxidants like betalains that combat inflammation and oxidative stress, further protecting vessel walls. Clinical trials, including those on hypertensive patients, consistently show no tolerance buildup with ongoing use, meaning the benefits persist over time. In my practice, performance. I've seen patients surprised by how something as straightforward as adding beets can complement their health routines. The science is robust from stiffening arteries at rest to optimizing oxygen delivery during activity. The nitrate to nitric oxide conversion in beets offers a natural evidence-based way to support vascular health. It's a reminder that powerful medicine can sometimes come straight from the earth, encouraging us all to embrace these nutrient-dense foods for long-term wellness. Performance. One of the most compelling and well-documented benefits of incorporating beets into your daily routine is their ability to meaningfully lower blood pressure. Performance, particularly the systolic reading that measures the force of blood against artery walls when the heart beats. As a family doctor, performance. I've discussed this with countless patients who are surprised to learn that a natural food can produce effects comparable to some lifestyle changes or even certain medications, yet without the side effects many worry about. Performance. Here's a hook that often gets my patients' attention. What if drinking just 8-16 ounces of beetroot juice daily could drop your systolic blood pressure by 4 to 7 mmHg on average? Performance, a reduction that research links to a 10-20% lower risk of stroke and heart disease over time. This isn't hype. Performance, it's drawn from multiple high-quality meta-analyses pooling data from dozens of randomized controlled trials involving hundreds of participants. For example, one comprehensive review of 43 studies found that regular beetroot juice consumption led to an average systolic drop of about 3, 55 mmHg and diastolic of 1, 32 mmHg across mixed populations. More targeted analyses in people with hypertension have shown even stronger effects, with clinical systolic reductions averaging 5 or 31 mmHg in recent meta-analyses focused on those with readings above 120 for 90 mmHg. These numbers matter because even small decreases in blood pressure can have outsized impacts on long-term health. A 5 mmHg drop in systolic pressure is associated with meaningful reductions in cardiovascular events. Performance, similar in scale to the benefits seen from adopting the DASH diet or increasing physical activity. In my practice, I often remind patients that while beets aren't a replacement for prescribed medications, performance, they can serve as a powerful adjunct, especially for those with mild to moderate hypertension or those working to prevent it. The mechanism is straightforward yet elegant. Performance, the high nitrate content in beets is converted in the body to nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessel walls and reduces vascular resistance. This effect peaks around 2-3 hours after consumption and can last several hours. Performance. with cumulative benefits building over days to weeks of regular intake. Studies show the greatest reductions often occur in individuals with higher baseline pressures, meaning those who need it most tend to benefit the most. Performance. In older adults, where arterial stiffness is more common, beets have shown particular promise in easing that stiffness and improving overall circulation. Another engaging hook. Performance. Unlike many supplements that promise big results but deliver little, beets' blood pressure lowering power has been replicated across diverse groups, from healthy volunteers to those with diagnosed hypertension, performance, and even in free, living people eating their normal diets. Trials using concentrated beetroot juice consistently demonstrate these effects without tolerance developing over time. Performance, meaning the benefits don't fade with continued use. One analysis highlighted that the impact on systolic pressure was comparable to some first-line interventions yet achieved through a simple dietary addition. Of course, performance results vary by individual factors like age, baseline pressure, and how the beets are consumed. Fresh juice tends to deliver the most concentrated dose, but roasted beets or smoothies work well too. Performance. In patients with hypertension, I've seen some respond with noticeable improvements in home readings after just a couple of weeks, often reporting feeling more energetic as a bonus from better circulation. Performance. The evidence is robust and growing, with recent reviews confirming sustained effects up to 90 days of regular consumption in hypertensive adults. This makes beets a practical performance evidence-based tool for supporting cardiovascular health, one that's accessible, affordable, and enjoyable when prepared creatively. Performance. One of the most exciting developments in cardiovascular health that I share with patients is how beets can significantly improve endothelial function. Performance. The vital ability of your blood vessels' inner lining to respond properly and keep circulation flowing smoothly. As a family doctor, I often explain that the endothelium is like a dynamic guardian of your arteries. Performance. Releasing substances that help vessels relax, prevent clotting, and control inflammation. When it works well, it protects against heart disease and stroke when it falters, as it often does with age, high blood pressure. Performance. Or other risks, arteries can stiffen and narrow. Here's a hook that surprises many. Did you know that something as simple as beetroot juice can enhance this endothelial function in ways comparable to some medications? With one key measurement, flow-mediated dilation, or FMD, improving by an average of 0.62% across multiple studies. Performance. FMD is the gold standard non-invasive test where we temporarily restrict blood flow to the arm and then release it, measuring how much the artery widens in response, a direct reflection of endothelial health. Performance. Systematic reviews and meta-analyses of randomized controlled trials have consistently shown that inorganic nitrates from beets boost nitric oxide availability, which directly supports endothelial-dependent vasodilation. In one influential meta-analysis pulling data from numerous trials, beetroot supplementation led to a standardized mean difference of 0.36 in vascular function markers, translating to meaningful real-world improvements. Performance. More recent analyses have pinpointed even clearer gains in FMD, the primary endpoint for endothelial health, with significant increases that help vessels become more flexible and responsive. The beauty lies in the mechanism. Performance. Dietary nitrates convert to nitric oxide, which signals smooth muscle cells and muscle walls to relax, mimicking the body's own healthy process, but providing an extra boost when natural production wanes. Another engaging hook. Perform. In patients with hypertension or elevated risks, where endothelial dysfunction is common, beets have shown particular promise, often reducing arterial stiffness alongside these FMD gains. Performance. Trials demonstrate that this isn't fleeting, effects build with regular intake, and unlike some treatments, there's no tachyphylaxis or tolerance developing over time. Performance. What captivates me in practice is seeing patients incorporate beets and notice subtle yet profound shifts, better energy from improved circulation, stabilized pressures, and a sense of proactive control over their vascular health. Clinical evidence supports that these changes contribute to lowering long-term cardiovascular risks by maintaining that crucial endothelial flexibility. Performance. Beets also deliver supportive antioxidants that combat the oxidative stress, often eroding endothelial integrity, creating a synergistic effect beyond just nitrates. The robustness of this evidence from acute doses. Performance. One of the most promising and intriguing benefits of beets that I discuss with patients is their potential to enhance blood flow directly to the brain, particularly in regions that tend to receive less perfusion as we age. Performance. As a family doctor, I've seen how reduced cerebral blood flow can contribute to subtle declines in sharpness, memory, and overall cognitive vitality. Performance. Issues many older adults notice, but often attribute simply to getting older. Here's a hook that captivates most people. Performance. Imagine a simple dietary addition like beetroot juice could increase blood delivery to the white matter of the frontal lobes, the very areas linked to executive function, decision-making, and problem-solving. Performance, making your brain function more like that of a younger person. This isn't speculation. A landmark study from Wake Forest University in 2010 was the first to demonstrate this effect. Researchers gave adults aged 70 and older a high nitrate diet, including beetroot juice, for several days, then used MRI scans to measure brain perfusion. The results were striking: performance, significantly higher blood flow to the frontal lobe white matter compared to a low nitrate diet. These frontal regions are precisely where degeneration often begins in conditions associated with cognitive decline and dementia. The mechanism ties beautifully back to nitric oxide from dietary nitrates in beets. As nitric oxide levels rise, it promotes vasodilation not just in peripheral vessels, but also in cerebral ones, formants, improving oxygen and nutrient delivery where it's needed most. In that study, participants consumed about 16 ounces of beetroot juice as part of their high nitrate meals, performance, leading to measurable increases in brain perfusion within hours, effects that peaked as plasma nitrite levels rose. Another engaging hook: formants. What if this improved perfusion could support sharper thinking and potentially act as a buffer against age-related brain changes? Follow-up research has built on this: formants, showing that dietary nitrates modulate cerebral blood flow parameters during cognitive tasks. In one double-blind trial, healthy adults consuming beetroot juice exhibited enhanced prefrontal cortex activation and better performance on demanding mental tasks. Formants, with near-infrared spectroscopy revealing increased oxygenated hemoglobin in key brain areas. For older adults specifically, where natural nitric oxide production diminishes and cerebral hypoperfusion is more common, the benefits appear particularly relevant. Studies suggest that nitrates from beets preferentially boost flow to subcortical and frontal regions vulnerable to aging effects. When combined with exercise, formants. One trial found that older adults drinking beetroot juice before workouts developed somatomotor cortex connectivity resembling that of younger brains, hinting at neuroplasticity enhancements through better vascular support. Performance. In my experience, patients are often amazed that such accessible food can target brain circulation so effectively. While not all studies show uniform cognitive improvements, performance. Some longer-term trials in overweight older adults found no changes after weeks of supplementation. The acute and regional perfusion boosts are consistently reported in high-quality research. Performance. This suggests beets may offer immediate vascular support to the brain, with potential cumulative advantages when part of a sustained healthy diet. Emerging reviews also link higher plant-derived nitrate intake to reduced cognitive decline risk, reinforcing the value for brain vitality. Incorporating beets, whether juiced, roasted, or blended, performance provides this nitric oxide precursor alongside antioxidants that further protect neural tissue. The evidence paints an optimistic picture. Performance. Better cerebral perfusion from beets could mean enhanced daily mental clarity and long-term brain resilience, especially as we navigate the years where flow naturally wanes. Formants, one of the standout features of beets that truly sets them apart from many other nitrate-rich foods is their abundance of powerful antioxidants, particularly the vibrant red and purple pigments known as betalains, formants, most notably betanin, which gives beets their striking color. As a family doctor, formants. I often highlight this to patients because chronic inflammation and oxidative stress are silent drivers behind much of the artery narrowing and plaque buildup that lead to heart disease and reduced blood flow. Formants. Here's a hook that never fails to intrigue. Did you know that betalains in beets are rare in the plant world, found almost exclusively in certain varieties like beetroot, and they exhibit antioxidant activity up to 3 times stronger than some well-known compounds like vitamin C in certain assays? Laboratory studies have shown that betanin effectively scavenges free radicals, those unstable molecules that damage cells and vessel walls, contributing to atherosclerosis. These antioxidants work by neutralizing reactive oxygen species and reducing lipid peroxidation. Formants, a process where fats and artery walls become oxidized and attract plaque formation. In vitro and animal studies demonstrate that beetroot extracts rich in betalains significantly lower markers of oxidative stress performance, such as malondialdehyde, while boosting endogenous antioxidant defenses like glutathione. Human trials, though emerging, support this. Regular consumption of beetroot juice has been linked to decreased DNA damage from oxidation and improved resistance to oxidative challenges in blood cells. Another compelling hook. While many focus on nitrates for blood pressure benefits, the anti-inflammatory effects of betalains provide an additional layer of cardiovascular protection by modulating pathways like NFB, formants, a key regulator of inflammation that promotes cytokine production and endothelial dysfunction. Formants reviews of beetroot's phytochemical profile highlight that betalains inhibit pro-inflammatory enzymes like COX-2 and reduce levels of C-reactive protein. Performance, a blood marker of systemic inflammation associated with higher heart risks. This dual action, antioxidant plus anti-inflammatory, helps preserve the integrity of the endothelium, preventing the initial steps of plaque development where oxidized LDL cholesterol accumulates. Beets also contain other supportive compounds like polyphenols and ascorbic acid that synergize with betalains. Performance, enhancing overall radical scavenging capacity. Clinical observations in patients incorporating beets show potential for lower oxidative burden, contributing to slower progression of vascular issues. In practice, performance. This means beets offer comprehensive natural protection, not only opening arteries through nitric oxide, but also shielding them from the inflammatory and oxidative assaults that narrow them over time. Performance. The evidence from biochemical, preclinical, and growing human studies underscores why this humble vegetable deserves a prominent place in heart-healthy diets. Performance. One of the aspects I love most about recommending beets to my patients is how remarkably easy they are to incorporate into everyday meals. Performance. Offering flexible and delicious options that deliver those powerful nitrates and antioxidants without feeling like a chore. As a family doctor, I've guided many people who start skeptical. Performance, worried about the earthy taste or preparation time, only to discover simple ways that fit seamlessly into busy lifestyles and actually enhance their enjoyment of food. Here's a hook that excites nearly everyone. Performance. What if the most effective dose for cardiovascular benefits could come from just 16 ounces of beetroot juice daily? Performance. An amount used in numerous clinical trials showing significant improvements in blood pressure and endothelial function. Fresh beetroot juice provides the highest concentration of nitrates, often around 5-10 mol per serving. Performance, making it efficient and potent. You can juice fresh beets at home with a juicer or opt for store-bought pure beetroot juice. Just check labels for no added sugars. If juicing isn't your thing, roasted beets are a fantastic alternative that many patients rave about for their natural sweetness. Simply wrap whole beets in foil and bake at 400 IBFF for 60 minutes until tender, then peel and slice. Performance. They're perfect added to salads with greens, goat cheese, nuts, and a light vinaigrette, turning a basic meal into something vibrant and nutrient-packed. Another engaging hook. Performance. Blending beets into smoothies mask any strong flavor beautifully while combining them with fruits for added appeal and nutrition. Try raw or cooked beets with berries, banana, apple, ginger, and a splash of lemon. Performance. The natural sugars and tartness balance the earthiness, creating a refreshing drink that's loaded with complementary antioxidants. Performance. This approach is especially popular with my patients who prefer quick breakfasts or post-workout boosts. Start small. If you're new to beets, perhaps half a beet in a smoothie or a few slices in a salad to acclimate your palate. Performance. Over time, most find they grow to enjoy the taste, especially noticing subtle energy improvements from better circulation. For optimal results, aim for consistency, daily or several times a week. Performance. While pairing with other supportive habits like regular movement, stress management, and a diet rich in varied produce. Practical tips from experience: wear gloves when handling raw beets to avoid stained hands. Performance. And note that harmless red urine or stools can occur in some people due to the pigments. If you have kidney stones or certain conditions, discuss oxalate content with your doctor, though for most, beets are safe and beneficial. The versatility from pickled to grated in soups means there's a preparation style for everyone, making sustained inclusion realistic and enjoyable.